Let's discuss. Hey everyone, it's Rachel back again with another reaction video, and today I am very excited to be checking out a new track from 156 Silence. It is called Say the Phrase, taken from their upcoming album Narrative, which is out September 2nd, very soon at this point. My most anticipated announced album. This and The Devil Wears Prada are the only two albums that I feel will compete with Fit for an Autopsy, and again, that's announced albums right now. Of course, if Invent Animate puts out an album this year, I will include that, The Contortionist, bands like that, but announced 156 Silence, these singles have been phenomenal. The EP last year, fantastic. These have all been on repeat for me, so it's looking very promising. I will link pre-orders and all of their social media in the description. Other than that, I'm going to stop talking and we are going to get straight into it.
I've said it for myself. Has to be something to relate rapidly. I articulate a phrase to actively convolve passively. I'll do what I'm told, but procrastinate until the very last moment I hope to encapsulate everything that folds. It's not half the pain of having to accept I'm growing older, and time will be back to the unknown, where it's fine to be the kind of being one would not condone, to negotiate anything
156 Silence, Say the Phrase, let's discuss. To Take Your Place and For All to Blame have been my favorites, and I think it will remain that way, but this goes right into another one. A Past Embrace is still one that I've kept on rotation. This will be as well, and I think it still adds something so interesting to their sound, and I can't always put my finger on what exactly it is. Like, I know that there is a lot in the vocals, like in the flow, in the emotion, a lot in that flow that sticks out to me, but also there's just something so different about this band in their sound, and I can never like exactly place what it is, and I'm not sure if that's because it's like a number of things that keep grabbing my attention. I know that flow and then like the vocal sound is something special that sticks out to me, but beyond that there's definitely more for me. What was interesting to me about this one was a number of things, but something particularly that stuck out to me was before that breakdown. I think it was somewhere around the 3-minute mark maybe, but there's like this spoken part, and as I was listening to it, it was reminding me of La Dispute. It was something in the way that he was talking that reminded me a lot of Jordan Dreyer of La Dispute, and then all of a sudden just into chaos. So like the one moment that this band has really ever reminded me of something else really quickly, it was almost like as soon as that thought came into my head was when it like flipped, and then all of a sudden back to the chaos where it didn't remind me of that anymore. But I just thought that was funny that like the second I had that thought, it sort of like flipped into something different. But also I like that style a lot, and I've talked in my 156 Silence videos now at this point about how a lot of that spoken stuff I do associate with this band, but there was something in that delivery there. I think there may have been like a lower spoken voice, because there's some stuff in their discography where you hear the spoken word type of stuff. I mean, it sounds very 156, and there was just something a bit different. I'll have to go back and replay that part. Having only heard it once, I can't remember what was being said or what exactly about it would make me draw that comparison over being like, oh yeah, that's very 156. Do you know what I don't know why I'm asking you if you know what I mean, as if you know what I mean. But anyway, so hearing that, I love the not only the sound, but like that flip that it happens instantly in the instrumentals, so chaotic yet able to flip over to that more bassy, open, I guess more space for the vocals in that part is really what it is. But also they lean on that sound too, because it's not solely like the attention in the vocals. It will open up and it will let that carry on a bit, carry the song a bit as well, before going into the more chaotic parts. So I think that's really important, and maybe even some of the parts in their debut release and such that didn't grab me the way the EP did, the way these singles are, maybe the way that I'm not sure. I need to go back and listen to Irrational Pull in full, because I've done like God's Departure, which is my favorite song off of that track, so that doesn't really help me any, like going back to what I enjoyed off of it. I need to see where it, I guess, like I don't want to make it sound like I didn't enjoy that record. Obviously, to be listening to their future releases and stuff, I did enjoy it. There was just something different when I heard that EP that it just like put them on a completely different spot on my radar, I guess, if that makes sense. And I want to kind of pinpoint what it was that changed and go back and sort of look into that more. I'm not sure why it matters really, but those bassier parts, but then being able to really quickly, like I'm talking about, go into spoken word and then flip over to like that chaotic sort of I don't know, because instrumentally, like the parts that are more flowy vocally, the instrumentals are just as relentless, I would say. So there's just a lot to appreciate about this, and I think on first listen, immediately the thing that my brain went back to was sort of that spoken part into the chaos. So I think that may have been my favorite part of the song on first listen, but again, gonna be something that goes directly on repeat for me, which is what I've come to expect with this band. Have big expectations for this album. I believe this is the last single before the release, especially as the release is like a little over 2 weeks away now, I think, or maybe less than 2 weeks. I'm not really sure. I need to look at a calendar, but something along those lines. So at the time that I'm filming this, so I will link the music or the visualizer, I guess, not music video, the visualizer I reacted to, as well as any pre-orders for the album, all of that in the description of this video. Let me know what your favorite singles have been. I already let you know what mine are. I'm sure, depending on people's tastes and stuff, some people will have 156 silence. Sorry, that distracted me. There's a truck outside and my dogs will bark any moment. I'm sure some people will be more leaning towards like Say the Phrase and stuff, and then maybe a few other people will be leaning towards like what I am, like, you know, if you like sort of the clean vocals were what grabbed me the most on these single releases. I was like, oh wow, that is something I really like. The ending grabbed me a lot on their most recent single, so because of what I enjoy, I feel like that is why my favorite singles are what they are. And then possibly people who are more looking towards that chaotic side of 156 and such, they'll be more into Say the Phrase and For All to Blame. But again, all 4 of the singles are incredible, so I'm very stoked for this album. Anyway, I'm finally gonna stop talking, stop rambling about this. I knew it was just a matter of time. Anyway, that was the end of what I was saying anyway, so all their social media and such in the description. Other than that, you can also find my social media in the description. I will have the link tree, which I mention in every video. It has the invite for the Discord server, where we have a lot of music-related conversation, Last FM stats, new music, listening parties, of various different music-related things, obviously, as it's around the channel. But we also have... struggling very much. We also have unrelated to music conversation, games, pets, all sorts of different stuff. So if you're interested in coming and join, check out the community. That will be there, as well as my Instagram profile link, where I do post all music related content, sometimes on my story about new music videos I found, or new YouTube videos on my channel, stuff like that. And then I also post a chart every Friday of what I've listened to the most over the course of the week. I post merch. I have ton of merch, never-ending merch collection. I post usually once or twice a week about that, sometimes about shows if I've been to a show recently and have pictures or videos to share from that type of stuff. So if that interests you at all, that will be there. My handle is also the same as my YouTube channel. It is Rachel Reacts, but again, it will be in that link tree in the description if you have any interest. As always, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it.